over 3 years ago, the entire Ikorodu division was thrown into a state of complete anarchy and unrest. Both residents and visitors were not spared. Armed robbery, court clashes, and land grabbing, aka Omonile, was the order of the day. Government at all levels were overwhelmed with the growing insecurity situation in Ikorodu division, a community recently rated as Nigeria's 12th largest city and 3rd largest city in southwest Nigeria. When all hope was lost, Ikorodu division royal fathers led by the Royal Majesty Oba Kabir Adewale Shotobi intervened.
Definitely, any town, any city that wants to grow will have this kind of pocket insecurity, and I saw it coming. I invited all the kings and other community to join hands for us to be able to establish these peace initiatives, and they all agreed.
In this 1 year, there's a marked difference, marked change from the state of insecurity before this 1 year in the whole of Ikorodu division. Because even in my own domain in Mota here, in the last 4 or 5 years, we know what we faced on the issue of security. But the introduction of IDPIL, the thing is a resounding success because it checkmated the idea. For instance, we are talking of 10 years. The success of 1 year in some organizations is not up to 1 year. But in the IDPIL something, it's about 10 years. This 1 year is like 10 years in the achievements of the organization. And that is why I am for IDPIL anytime.
In terms of the security aspect, it has recorded what I can say a modest achievement, because we have had cause mostly to sleep with our 2 eyes closed within the division, with the collaborative efforts of the security outfit created by the body to support the existing security outfit, that is the police and other paramilitary body. Within Igbogo and its environment, we want to say a big thank you to the body. They have continued to sustain the security arrangements that have been put in place.
Because since the advent of this initiative, all those things let's say, it have become things of the past. Though we still have, little unit of it around, but majorly the tension has been drowned down. They have put in a lot in terms of resources, in terms of manpower, human resources, economic resources, and what have you into it. So therefore, I want to give them a very big kudos in the area of security.
I hear the siren of their vehicles when they go on patrol. At times they stop at my door here. I come out at times to greet them. When they go on patrol, they say, "We are on patrol, sir." They say, "Well done."
Wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ wọn dáadáa. Ìgbà tó wà ní lọ́dọ̀ mi bí gbogbo wọn náà ṣiṣẹ́ wọn dáadáa. Even Ikorodu náà tàti fò wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ dáadáa. Wọ́n wà òkè. Ọ̀rọ̀ àfikún náà lè ju pé kí àwọn ọmọ wa náà kí Ọlọ́run kó bá wa kó sí wọn nínú. Torí jàgídíjàgan ò ṣeé ṣe ilé ayé.
The division for what is now known today as the Ikorodu Division Peace Initiative was birthed on 24th February 2021 through weeks and months of brainstorming and wide consultation among key community stakeholders.
IDPIL was established in February 24, 2021, and the first meeting was held in the pavilion of His Royal Majesty Oba Engineer Kabir Shotobi GCIO, and it was a consensus of the Royal Majesty's Ikorodu Division, having seen the pervasive criminalities, having realized that Ikorodu is being overrun by cultists, criminals of various shades.
Various vigilante groups that had hitherto been operating under different names and lack structure and proper coordination were organized into local joint task force, otherwise known as a Dagiri Ekun, with common structure and central coordination. With this done, the LJTF was set to effectively combat insecurity across Ikorodu Division communities. High Chief Adeumi Ogusoya's son, the Odofin of Ikorodu and Board of Trustees Chairman of the Ikorodu Division Peace Initiative, IDPIL, gave an insight into the background leading to the formation of the group.
Yes, it's very simple. We indigenous of Ikorodu that grew up in Ikorodu, you compare what it was like living in Ikorodu in the years past. It was very, very nice. You could walk anywhere, you could move anywhere at any time. There was relative safety, good communal relationships. Everybody knew everybody. It was nice. You could walk anywhere, everywhere was. Then we had the advent of so much violence. And we were lucky we had we have another, Alailua Shotobi, who was also very concerned about the security of the town with his fellow Obas that constitute the Ikorodu local government. And we all have to come together to make sure that Ikorodu, the once prosperous town, gets its glory back.
Since they were inaugurated, we have seen a very sharp drop in broad daylight violence by cultist group in Ikorodu, which was the other day before. They just with impunity. They just come on the street, daylight, and just unleash violence on innocent people, disrupting trade, disrupting commerce, disrupting the peace of the community.
Ikorodu roundabout became a black spot. People were very scared of going there, and we felt that in a community that has been so peaceful year in, year out, how can we allow this situation to continue? In the past, it used to be group A year killing Aye killing and all the rest of them. They were counting scores 2-1. We have killed 2, they have killed 1, they have killed 1, have killed 2. That was what the situation was.
To demonstrate its commitment to a secured and peaceful community, IDPIL procured 17 patrol vehicles, 14 motorcycles, several uniforms and other tools that would enhance the effectiveness of the Edagiri Ekun local joint task force. This is another feat, as it is the first time any community security arrangement in the entire state has been so well organized and equipped. The Ikorodu Division Peace Initiative also extended a hand of fellowship to the federal government-owned Nigerian Police, Igbobo, Imota, CP Strike Team, and Area End Command, Lagos Neighborhood Service Corps, NSCDC, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency NDLEA, Ikorodu Command, and National Open University of Nigeria now. Ikorodu Model Study Center as they were presented with patrol vehicles and motorcycles to support their operations. It is instructive to note that the IDPIL has invested well over 300 million naira in equipping the LJTF for the task ahead. This humongous investment was privately sourced without support from governments at all levels. The Executive Secretary of the IDPIL, Otumba Ganiu Olusegun Abiru, spoke on the imperative of nipping the then rising crime rates across Ikorodu division in the bud.
Ikorodu was about to be taken over by hoodlums, the cultists. We have series of cultist clashes. It's a game of deciding who is winning in the counts. The area people will say 1-0, the Aye also will say 1-1, and it became a tussle that was beginning to turn Ikorodu into a division, into a town that people were now afraid to visit. The emergence and coming on board of the local joint task force, Ikorodu has become a new division where peace and prosperity reign. I must also use this medium to thank the Inspector General of Police, who magnanimously gave us the approval to have our officers in the local joint task force trained in the police college.
Within few months, the newly inaugurated Idagiri Ekun local joint task force has swung into action with the help of passionate and well-motivated personnel who were paid monthly stipends with free Medicare and life insurance policy. Ikorodu division had literally put our destiny in our own hands with the body's adoption of native intelligence and information gathering. Peace and security was restored to the once troubled division. Retired Colonel Bolaji Titilola Onofowokon, Chairman IDPIL Committee on Operations and Strategy, spoke on the LJTF command and control structure.
They are not a standalone operational body. We work with the police. When something happens, because we are closer to the people, we get the police informed. Or if people informed police might even call us. What is happening in our environment? Once we know it, we go straight into the action. But in most cases, it is we that we see what happened. They will not tell the police that so is happening. Okay, we are going to send you a police officer. Okay, send vehicle. Though we give them vehicle, the vehicle is not available, we send our vehicle. Then when we go into operations, well, in most cases, we have HSD is always able to combat issues because we have about 25 in each LCDA. You see, so but in case there's problem of handling situations, we have beside this, we have other alternative LCDs who have standby people that can be loaned to support that LCD that has problem.
Chief Lanre Labinjo, commandant of the Idagiri local joint task force, gave some insight into the operations of the task force and some of the successes recorded in maintaining security, peace and order in the ever-growing city.
Within that short period, we are able to get a majority of them arrested. As I'm talking to you now, we have about 185 members of various court groups that we arrested. Presently, some of them was prosecuted within some short period. They was released, and some was who have a capital offense like murder, rape, are still in Kirikiri and Ikoyi today. But the major one that we have in Ikorodu and happens to be the genesis of our problem is the land grabber. Land grabbers are the ones that fund all these bad boys, the cultists, the hoodlums, because they are the ones that are taking them to some of these farms, villages. So, and that is where some of even the clutches that we normally have in Ikorodu start from those areas, Isiu, Imota, Agbowa, and some other areas. You cannot combat crime in Ikorodu without visiting Ogijo. Ogijo is under Ogun State. We have another one, Emure. Emure is under Ogun State, and earlier guys used to use Ogijo as their hideout. Aye use Emure as their hideout. And some of the arrests we made so far was made in some of these areas. But when IDPIL team came up, at least they encouraged us a lot, because what we have been doing for free, some of us are using their personal car to secure this particular division. So when we now see the Adeumi Ogunsoya group, which is IDPIL, we are very encouraged to do more. So at least that alone is enough motivator for us. Vehicle was given to, because in the past we hire motorcycle and some of us use our various cars. But today we have over 17 vehicles, 50 motorcycles to combat the criminal. And that is the reason why you see the entire community today calm. The policeman who is a native of Kwara, Ikorodu, èmọ̀ tún dòmù gan-an, èmọ̀ tún láò, èmọ̀ tún láyé òde o. Àwa la mọ̀bẹ̀, àwa la wà on ground, kó má jẹ́ kó bà lù wá jẹ́ fún.
When they go for such operations at times, many things happen. Don't forget that these men are not carrying arms. And they are going to face boys that are carrying arms. They are going to face those that are carrying weapons. So along the line, with our own native intelligence, we'll deal with them. But that doesn't mean we do have some casualty along the line.
Commendations have continued to pour in from key stakeholders across Ikorodu division in appreciation of the great job the body is doing for the communities.
So one must congratulate Odofi Ogunsoya for this initiative. It has reduced drastically the tendency of people who are cultists, thieves, armed robbery, misbehavior on the streets, because they are a little bit always available, they are mobile. It's a thing of joy that we could have this kind of initiative in the Ikorodu division. And one must appreciate the Oba of Ikorodu too, Oba Engineer Shotobi, for championing this sort of initiative.
First and foremost, let me put on record my commendation and appreciation of Kabezi, the city father, who collaborated with communities, the chiefs, and particularly Odofi of Ikorodu to make it possible. We must prepare the ground for everybody feeling safe. If the territory is not safe, nobody will bring business into it.
A lè sùn tẹ́lẹ̀ wọ́n gbà tí wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ́n dá àwọn ìṣètò ìbílẹ̀ àwọn tó ń ṣọ́ọ̀dì tó ń dúró lọ́sàn-án lóru láàárọ̀ lálẹ́ yìí fọkànbalẹ̀ báwa láì àìsùn àtúndúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn tó ń gba iṣẹ́ náà tó ń ṣe wọ́n tó fẹ́ ra wọn ṣe àdúgbò lọ́wọ́ àwọn àtàtẹ̀lú ẹ̀ wọ́n dúró tì wọ́n.
Members of the community cannot sleep and closer to eyes because they have really reduced to the barest minimum the activities of the cultists, the activities of the kidnappers, and even we don't even have any case of kidnappers in Ikorodu anymore.
The birth of Ikorodu Division Peace Initiative and the local task force and co, things have started being normal. Things have started coming into normal, and for now I think it's okay. So I'm going to rate them. If I'm going to rate them on the scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give them 9.
While the Dagirieku has recorded many successes, the body has also suffered some major setbacks like attacks on some operatives, vandalization of vehicles, and personal injuries.
They killed one of our members at Itamaja. He was going to his beat when they got him on the road and he was killed.
Despite all these setbacks, the spirit of Idagirieku LGTF operatives remain high. Few months after the formal launching of IDPIL, the body also hosted the Security Stakeholders Summit, where traditional and community leaders, security agencies as well as market men and women gathered to discuss and provide robust lasting solutions and volunteer critical suggestions that would assist the LGTF in the effective discharge of its duties. The meeting, like others, has now paid off as criminality in all forms have been reduced to the barest minimum in Ikorodu Division. For proper administrative coordination of the IDPIL activities, the body scored a major goal when the Lagos State Government, through the Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives, gave the state government approval for the release of the Ministry of Agri Building at Eta Elewa to the body as its operational headquarters. This gesture from the Lagos State Government has further strengthened the resolve of the IDPIL to the pursuit and fulfillment of its corporate goals and objectives. Realizing that drug addiction is the stimulant for all forms of criminality, the IDPIL, in collaboration with the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA), launched a division-wide campaign against drug addictions. The strategic campaign tagged War Against Drug Abuse, WADA, targeted at secondary school students and dark spots across Ikorodu Division. Senior NDLEA officials, security agencies, and other critical stakeholders were unanimous in condemning drug abuse and addiction among Ikorodu Division youths and teenagers across Ikorodu Division as a whole. In recognition of the commendable efforts of the IDPIL, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) also decorated the Ayongbere of Ikorodu, Oba Kabir Adewale Shotobi, the Adeborua of Igbobo, Oba Semiudin Orimadegun Kasali, IDPIL BOT Chairman Odofin Adewumi Ogusoya, and IDPIL Executive Secretary Otumba Ganiu Olusegun Abiru. They were all decorated by the NDLEA Lagos State Commander as War Against Drug Addictions and Abuse WADA ambassadors. While the Idagirieku LGTF was busy nipping criminalities in the bud, the parent body IDPIL was also attending to other critical sectors of the community requiring urgent attention. 6 months after the formal launching and public presentation, the IDPIL took another bold step by launching a whopping 20 million naira scholarship and bursary endowment fund aimed at supporting brilliant and indigent students, indigenes and non-indigenes alike.
The scholarship that of 200,000 that students will benefit from year 2, the 200 level to their final year. And then we have the bursary of 100,000 per student that is one-off, and then 50,000 that is also one-off. We are already even looking at the second edition of that project.
So far, about 376 undergraduates have so far benefited from the unprecedented financial largesse, which has gone down in history as the single largest community-sponsored bursary and scholarship award initiative. It is instructive to note that the annual scholarship and bursary award has been increased to 30 million naira. The body's Board of Trustees Chairman Odofin Adewumi Ogusoya San has also promised a whopping $10,000 to any graduating students from Ikorodu starting from the 2024 edition of the annual scholarship and bursary award presentation. Some of the beneficiaries of the scholarship and bursary awards shared their views on the scheme.
Thus far, I have been able to benefit the sum of 200,000 naira, and I have used it primarily in supporting my studies. I was also able to use part of the fund to get a laptop, which has greatly aided me because aside from the clinical aspects of our course, we are required to do research and make literature reviews as part of the full learning experience.
I actually benefited from the bursary 1 category, which had me receive the sum of 100,000 naira. So I used the grant or the bursary to settle several academic obligations. I bought some materials and I used the rest for my general upkeep in school. So on the final note, I would like to thank IDPIL Scholarship and Bursary Initiative for their generosity and their support towards academic excellence.
In further pursuit of the commitment to the promotion of peace and commerce in Ikorodu Division, IDPIL further dived into its agenda for the promotion of wholesome development initiatives across key sectors of the entire Ikorodu Division communities. The body unveiled its shared agenda covering security, health, education, environment, and road rehabilitation. The more daunting the challenges across these sectors may look, the more determined the IDPIL is poised to effectively tackle them and bring smiles on the faces of residents and visitors alike. IDPIL also collaborated with many youth organizations like the National Youth Council of Nigeria (NYCN) and the National Association of Ikorodu Division's Students (NAIDS) on several sensitization campaigns against cultism, rape, domestic violence, and social vices. The campaign was taken to selected primary and secondary schools in the division as a Cash Them Young advocacy strategy towards reducing social vices to the barest minimum. For their personal sacrifices and commitment to peace and security of Ikorodu Division, in what can be tagged an eventful year 2022, the LJTA personnel were treated to a memorable Christmas. Firstly, they were presented with bags of rice and live chicken, and also there was the end-of-year party sponsored by the IDPIL, and there was also plenty to eat and drink in an atmosphere of fun and entertainment. This for those who risk their lives for the security and safety of others in what many have been clamoring for, our state-owned security personnel. That IDPIL has done so much within the last 3 years, the body is not resting on its oars as many development projects are still in the offing. These include the installation of solar power street lights in Ayayo Street in Motan, complete renovation of Oreta Primary School in Igbogbo Baeku LCDA, and proposed donation of a primary health center to Berigbe community. Similarly, the IDPIL in a few weeks from now will be hosting the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of a multi-billion naira Adewumi Ogunsoya Renal Center at the General Hospital Ikorodu in fulfillment of one of his shared agenda in the health sector. It is therefore not surprising that the modest achievements of the IDPIL have started attracting honors and recognitions from far and wide. Only recently, the Institute of Criminology and Strategic Studies, ICSS, formally accepted IDPIL into its corporate membership. Similarly, the IDPIL BOT chairman Odofin Adewumi Ogusoya San and the Executive Secretary Otumba Ganiyu Oloshegun Abiru were both inducted as Fellows of the prestigious institute at a special investiture and award ceremony. The body is, however, calling on well-meaning Nigerians, corporate organizations, and residents of Ikorodu Division in particular to join forces with the IDPIL in fulfilling its goals for the good people of Ikorodu Division through donations, collaboration, and strategic partnerships. While the last 3 years have been eventful for the IDPIL, the future looks bright as the body continues to push harder towards achieving its shared development agenda for Ikorodu Division communities. On behalf of the good people of Ikorodu Division, at home and in the diaspora, this is wishing the dynamic and forward-looking Ikorodu Division Peace Initiative many more impactful years in the service of humanity.
Ṣe